Good afternoon and welcome to Biz Tips Live at Noon. My name is Mona Giordano and I'm a certified business startup coach. And I am here to help you take your idea and turn it into an actual business. Now, this is episode number 10, and this week we're going to be talking tech. One of my not so favorite subjects, but here's what I have learned. It is absolutely, positively mandatory that you are internet savvy and technology savvy in order to do business in today's marketplace. There's just no way around it. And a little interesting fact for you is that it's becoming more and more and more online business as opposed to brick and mortars. So there's much to learn. And I wanted to just do a quick review about what we have been looking at over the past 9 episodes. So here's just a little breakdown for you. And the reason that I go over this is because each week when we do Biz Tips Live at Noon, there's a free tool that's associated with each particular episode. And we invite you to take advantage of those free tools to help you in the planning stages of starting up your business. Whether it's an online business or a brick and mortar business, we can help you, and those tools are designed for you. So let me, at the beginning of this, tell you that what we need to do in order for you to get that is for you to join my list. And my list is available by going to my website, www.monagiordano.com. That's www.monagiordano.com, and then /contact. That will take you to my contact page, and you can put in your first name and your contact information, your email address, and then down in the little comment section below, or the Message Mona section, you just ask for Biz Tip episode 10 or Biz Tip episode 1, whatever the case may be. We want to keep you in the know. Now then, we also invite you to be a part of our Biz Tip online group. This is on Facebook, and that is Biz Tip group page. Really simple, and we invite you to ask to join. We don't want to push ourselves on you and just automatically put you in a group. We want you to want to be there so that you can add value and glean from others in the group. And this is a new group, so we don't have an exponential amount of members yet. This is something that's brand new, and we want you to be a part of it to take advantage of all of the wonderful and totally free information that you'll find in there. Now, in week number 1, we talked about finding your why. Really important to understand your why. Week 2, we focused on your working style. This is important for you to know whether you're working solo or as you start pulling your team together, knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses. Week number 3, we talked about time management and developing SMART goals. That's specific, measurable, achievable. Ooh, okay, I'm missing out on the R. And then, of course, time-bound. So it's a realistic, and then time-bound. So SMART goals are imperative when you're doing any type of planning and trying to meet the mark. Then we talked about your business map, how important it is. That was on week number 4, your business map, how important it is to actually chart your course, to plan it out, to have a canvas, if you will. A lot of people call that a business canvas. And that's really important because you want to be able to make adjustments as you go through the discovery stages of learning. You might have to shift some things around. So having that business canvas or business map in place is really critical in the starting phases. In week number 5, we talked about your mission statement and a way that you should actually align all of the decisions that you're making against your mission statement. Once you're clear, crystal clear on what your mission is, your purpose, the reason why you exist in this business world, then when things come along, you can line it up against your mission statement to make sure that you're staying on task, on target, along with your goals. In week number 6, we talked about getting your message out and the very critical importance of social media marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the world in which we live. Social media marketing is here to stay, and it's getting more and more as this shift to online business takes place, day after day after week after year, and it's going to become even more critical. So best advice there is that you definitely need to have Facebook presence. I know. If you're of the younger generation, perhaps the millennial generation, Facebook may be considered for the old folks like me. However, let's face it, Facebook has 2 billion users, and they are still the number one advertising marketing place that there is. So definitely need some Facebook presence, a personal page or a business page or both, and then maybe a group to go along with that. So that's what we do, is help you get started. Now, after you've mastered Facebook, then you want to move on to some of the other platforms. If you're in the professional market, then LinkedIn is outstanding. Instagram is something that really is reaching out to the younger generation, but it's a lot more pictures. Anyway, this is not a social media, so I'm going to just session, so we're just going to blow by that. But just summarize it, saying that Facebook's presence is needed no matter if you are brick and mortar or if you are a service-based business. Whatever you're doing, you need to be on Facebook. Okay, then in week number 7, we talked about service-based businesses and how service-based businesses are becoming more and more popular. Life coaching, for example. I'm a life coach and I specialize in business startups. I also offer, a lot of practicality when it comes to life in general. If you're a woman in transition, and you're interested in starting a new business, not only do you need that business aspect of the coaching, but also some life coaching in general. Everybody needs a coach. I've heard it said, and I 100% agree, that not everybody needs a counselor, but everybody needs a coach, or 2 or 3, depending on what your aspirations are and what you're trying to develop self-improvement in. In week number 8, we transferred into legal stuff. This is part of what I call yucky stuff because it's very necessary in business. Whether you're an online business, whether you're a service business, whether you are a brick and mortar, you have to try and comply and do things the right way to set yourself up for success. So in that episode, we started talking about legal stuff. We started talking about the Department of Revenue. Should you or should you not collect sales tax? Getting a business license, and do you need a corporation, an LLC? Are you good just being a sole proprietorship? So those are the kind of yucky stuff that we discussed in week number 8, legal stuff. And then last week, week number 9, we started talking about counting the cost or calculating expenses, the importance of that financial stability role plays in your success. You're going to have startup needs. You're going to have money. You're going to have a team of people or family or friends, somebody that's going to be in your corner with you, that's pushing you on and helping you out with tangible things as well as motivation. You're going to need technology, and if you're a brick and mortar, you need a building and you need furniture and fixtures. And so all of these very costs have monetary necessary realism to them, and that's really important that you count that cost and be able to, along the way, calculate what your break-even point is going to be, so you know what the cost of your goods is and at what point in time you stop feeding that business and it reaches a profitable stage. And that brings us to this week, week number 10. And today I want to talk about internet or online businesses specifically. It's been a very real learning adventure for me. I've been in the brick and mortar business and the service industry for 30 plus years. I am a serial entrepreneur, I call myself. And I've been involved in many different entrepreneurial journeys. But the one thing that has been constant and successful the whole way through is the brick and mortar business, which is called Pest Control General Store. Excuse me. So your costs of getting started are going to be extremely different in a brick and mortar store and an online business. but also the way that you advertise and the way that you market, and your technology know-how is going to be very different as well. For example, to do an online business in the service realm, you may be able to get started just simply with a cell phone and a laptop computer. So your costs are going to be very, very minimal, because you can essentially work from your home or from a coffee shop or from a co-working space, which is going to keep your variable costs, or excuse me, your fixed costs down to a bare minimum. Then as you grow, then you can add office space or co-working space or what have you. You need to definitely invest in branding yourself, and most businesses, whether you're brick and mortar or especially if you're going to be service-based online, then you need to have a website. At the bare minimum, a Facebook page. You might be able to get started there, but you're definitely at some point in time going to need a website, particularly if you're doing an online business service-based. Now, similar to a brick and mortar business, an online business is going to require that you map out your business. It doesn't get you out of all that yucky stuff that I've been talking about for the past couple of weeks, because you need to still have organize your funding. You still have to produce product if you have a product, but if you're in sales, service rather, then your product is your expertise. It may be an online course, it could be webinars, it could be books that you're writing and selling or what have you. But all of that, you still have to go through the planning processes and have a business map in place. Now, if you decide that you want to do an online business selling product, then you've got some real choices out there, and you need to investigate the various options that you have. Choices like eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Store Envy, or self-hosted e-commerce sites. These are all things that you need to figure out which is going to be the most beneficial, which is going to get you the best SEO, which is going to get the most profit in your bank account at the end of the day when all is said and done. And then, there's advantages and disadvantages. So, for example, Etsy, if you're doing a product-based business, they really cater to crafters and homemade product. In fact, they frown and say no to mass-marketed products. So Etsy is not the platform for you if you want to buy jewelry, for example, from China in the masses and then market it on Etsy. They're really looking for craft, for art, for things that are handmade. And so that would be a good choice for you because it simplifies things a little by doing an Etsy site. Store Envy, StoreEnvy, is a free site that you can utilize. But even though it's free, there are hidden costs involved. So you have to investigate all of those. And then, of course, the best would be a self-hosted e-commerce site. But to do a self-hosted e-commerce site, you really, really need to have a nice website, one that's functionable and easy for your customer to use. And you simply must have a good quality shopping cart so that the buying experience is a great one for your customer. Moving along, talking about websites. Again, a website is something that you're going to want to do in any type of business. And you're going to need some website hosting. So your website hosting, like you go to GoDaddy.com and maybe you buy your domain name, but then you also need someone that's going to be hosting that site. And you may need people that are going to change it up for you and add the pages, add new product, or you're going to have to learn how to do that yourself. So these are all things that you have to keep in mind, regardless of if you're doing an online business or a brick and mortar. Now, if you're doing an online business, here comes some cold, hard facts, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just as easy as having a Facebook page and going online. I have learned the hard way, and I'm still learning every single day about the importance of technology. Now, when I say technology, I'm talking about, okay, I'm a business startup coach. I can't do one-to-one coaching in my demographic area all the time and expect to make the funds that I desire to make. to live the life of freedom that I desire and dream of. So that means I have to get online. And getting online, that means that I have to build opt-in pages. Some people call them squeeze pages, where you get people's email addresses to create your list, the ever important list. In addition to that, you need an email service such as MailChimp or Constant Contact or various others, because you need to be able to communicate. Your email list is something that you own, unlike any social media platform that, for goodness sakes, could be bought out or could go down, but your email list is your own. So getting those email addresses and having an email platform that you work with is imperative, because that list is number one. You also need an autoresponder. You also need, you need to know how to do webinars. And that could be free webinars or paid webinars, but that means that you need to have another platform, and that platform may be like GoToWebinar or Zoom or, various others. There's different options that you have. And then, of course, if you're going to offer online classes, there again, a lot of information, a lot of studying and learning, and then putting it into place. Sometimes you just have to kind of do it afraid, because as a 59-year-old woman in business, it's technology is one of my pain points. So that's a good thing for you, though, because that pain point is my passion. So what I'm doing is learning all of that so that I can teach it tried and true, hands-on, step by step to you, to make your life a little bit easier. Now, the younger generation, they grasp this stuff really quick. And so, for those baby boomers such as myself, we really need to get a handle on this technology and keep ourselves up to date and knowledgeable about what's going on. One reason, because some people call them the millennial generation. I hate to use labels, but I'm going to call them the largest generation. And I had a networking event last week, the Wow Women Network here at the Direct Connection. And we had a wonderful speaker. His name was Colton Heath, 18 years old. And this kid has got it going on. He is a University of Florida freshman this year, getting ready to just start his long learning process. But this kid is a gem. And he did a presentation for us called Marketing to Millennials. But one thing, don't call them that, because they don't like to be called that. And most importantly, they are not all the same. Just like every single generation preceding them and the ones coming afterwards, there is a difference within the generation. It's been from the beginning of time, the younger generation. Well, for those of us in this generation, we best embrace and love the differences and learn all about how we can be of service to that generation, the largest generation in history, the most educated generation in history, and the most technologically advanced generation in history. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a boomer, you best get on board and learn the technical stuff. Don't drag your feet any longer. I learned that the hard way. So, but again, that's another way that I can help you. Now, let's see. Let's get back to some legalities for just a moment, because should you choose an online business over a brick and mortar, you still have many of the same legalities. You need to check out the online business laws, and the best place to check that out is through the SBA. So they can answer, you can get all of that information that you need to know how to correctly run an online business. You need to make sure that you're selling your product or your services legally. So you would want to go to your particular state's Secretary of State website, and you'll be able to find all of the answers of legally selling in your state. And then there are some other considerations. For example, where are you going to run your business? If you're a brick and mortar, it's a building or a space or a warehouse. If you're an online business, you have a few options. One, starting with at home. And so you may be entitled to do some office in-home expense. But be warned, That is a very gray area with internal revenue. So if you're using a portion of your home as your office and you're taking those deductions, you best be using that space for your office and keeping very stringent records, because your auditability would be more anytime that you're claiming office and home expense. Now, if you don't want to have an office and home, you may want to be meeting out in Starbucks or Panera or here at the Direct Connection, hint, hint. You may also want to utilize co-working space. All of these are options that you need to examine when you're getting started in any type of business, whether that is a brick and mortar business, whether it is a service business, whether it's online, whether it's offline. These are all things that you need to know and to learn about and to strategize and to plan. My name is Mona Giordano, and I'm a certified business startup coach. My passion and my reason for living is to help particularly women, but not just women, go for their dreams, to stop putting off that desire that's been burning in their heart to start their own business. I'm here to help. And one way that I'm helping is by doing the Biz Tips Live at noon, each and every Tuesday at noon. I want to thank you so much for joining in. I welcome your comments. And again, please join my email list by going to www.monagiordano.com/contact. And then be sure to join the group right here on Facebook, Biz Tips group page. And there we can communicate with one another and help each other out. I'm in the process of developing courses, online courses, and doing webinars. And everything that I'm learning, I'm going to be passing along to you. So I can take your passion and my practical wisdom of being a successful business owner for 31 years in the Tampa Bay area of Florida to take your dream from the dream stage to the grand opening stage. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm going to be commenting below and putting in the website address for the contact and also the biz page. I hope to see you soon. Until next Tuesday, God bless you.